First game here in a few weeks, so hopefully we're not too rusty and don't lose any of that progress. So I'm thinking I'll start with a London here. However, I've just completely forgotten that pawn there is hanging and aimlessly move the bishop, so we lose a pawn early on. But like I said, with rusty, it's only one pawn. At this level, that should hopefully not matter too much. So bring the queen out, attacking the knight. He comes with the pawn to hit my bishop. Okay, so I'll move out the way, hit the king. He blocks. All right, I'll shuffle backwards. Comes with a bishop of his own, but of course I can just block this. He pushes back. But okay, here, so if I push the pawn, I want him to take that pawn, because if he takes my pawn, I'll take back with my queen, and I'm then hitting both his knight and his bishop. So I want him to take the pawn. He doesn't. No worries. I can move out the way here. And after he takes the knight, I take back with a rook. And it's still fairly even. He castles. I'll bring the knight. Will he take? Will he retreat? Okay, retreats. Now I can take a free pawn back. Nice. He moves the knight out the way. I mean, the rook was protecting it, but hey-ho. It's a good way for him to move the knight out the way, I guess. Now I'll bring another pawn in the centre. He pushes a pawn on the edge. Okay. Perhaps just giving his king an escape square. I'm not too sure. I'll support my pawn further. He comes with a knight. Okay, I'll hit that, which also hits the rook behind it on f1. So hopefully he moves the knight and lets me get the rook. But he sees it coming. Okay, so he moves the rook, which does leave the knight hanging, but he's hitting my queen. So of course I need to move the queen. There we go. Now he moves the knight and hits my queen. Okay, so move the queen one more time. Again, hitting the knight, but also if he moves the knight, I win the queen. It'd be a queen trade, but I wouldn't mind that. But okay, he takes the pawn. I take back. He comes with a knight now. Okay, so he's probably tempted me to try and take the knight, and then he'll win my queen. But, of course, I'm not going to do that. So instead, I'll just see if he wants to trade rooks. And if so, I can then take back with my queen to get the nice central position again. There we go. Okay, he hits my king. I honestly think the safest thing is just to move the king out the way here. Obviously, if I block with my knight, I'd lose out. If I block with the queen, I'll lose out. So yeah, we'll move the king. He brings the queen down and just he hangs the queen. He hangs the queen and resigns the game. Okay, that was a bit of madness there. That was quite an even, quite a close game. If anything, I think he was slightly better off. But I was getting into a good position. But there we go. He's hung the queen, resigned the game, off to a good start. Coming off the back of a nice win there, onto our second game. I've got the white pieces, so now I can play the London. So here we go. So pawn out, bishop out. I assume we ignored that pawn. I'm not 100%. I'm still quite new to it. Basically, I watched one video on the London, so I'm definitely not an expert. Okay, so I think the next move of the London was supposed to be pushing that c2 pawn up to c3, but of course we can't just mindlessly move pieces, and his queen is attacking that pawn on b2, and if his queen gets in there, he'll win my rook as well, so I think we just get that pawn to safety, protected by the two others. So he takes, let's just take straight back again. He brings the queen down, hitting me in check. So I've got a few options here. I can block with the knight, block with a queen, move the king, block with a bishop. There's a lot of options. I think I'm going to develop the knight just so I have the opportunity to castle if I want. So I'm going to be giving up that pawn. Is that risky? I don't know. But let's bring the bishop back, hit the queen. He's going to have to move. And okay, so he's playing a bit dangerously here. He's brought the queen very close into my end, and fair play to him, because usually when I try this, I end up blundering the queen. So we'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, let's develop the knight closer to castling short if needs be. He comes with the bishop. I don't mind that. I'll happily trade those two. There we go. Gets the bishop out, and now I can castle. He pushes a pawn. Brilliant. I can castle. Happy days. He comes with his other bishop, and to be honest, I quite like my position. I'm getting a bit worried about his bishop coming in, his queen coming in. He's been very attacking, so let's just neutralise that, get that out of the way, send the queen back a bit. Nice. Now I can push up, get my pawn wall in there, and if he takes this, there's a nice little trick coming up. And he takes it. Right, okay, so that's worked perfectly. So he was in a nice safe position here. But if you look at my bishop on f3, it's now got a clear path to the rook, and the rook cannot escape. So there we go. I think I win the rook now. I don't think there's anything he can do. And no, okay, he just brings the knight out and accepts that the rook is gone. So straight away, we're +4 from that. Beautiful. He castles, so he's now going to develop the other knight and win my bishop back. But I don't mind that. So we can take the free pawn, because obviously, we can take the free, the pawn, because my pawn is supporting the knight now, so the queen can't take my knight. He moves out the way to take my bishop. But, okay, I'll happily take his knight for him to take my bishop. There we go. So a nice equal trade, so I'm still +5. And the queen is now in a very attacking position. The knight's up the board. This is looking like it should be over fairly quickly, hopefully. So if I bring the rook in, we're really looking for that back rank checkmate, a nice simple one. But I don't think it'll be quite that easy, but we'll see how it goes. So he brings the knight out. Okay, so I'm trying to calculate here. If I go down with my queen and his rook takes, I could then take, but he can still block with both his knight and his queen there, so I don't want to do that yet. But if we push up, get the other rook underneath, it might look a lot more dangerous. Right, he's given himself one more escape square there, but if we follow through with that, I mean, that looks pretty menacing. So the knight is supporting, the queen's there, the two rooks are in. He pushes the pawn. I'll come back and see if he wants to trade the queens now, because to be honest, that's the only thing I think still posing a threat to me at this point. And he accepts it. Great. So he can now get the knight further up the board, take the queens out of the game. We're +5, and I'm just simply up a rook. So providing I don't blunder anything, we'll take that. Yeah, providing I don't blunder anything, hopefully this should be over fairly quickly. So I've put the pawn in there, hoping he'll take it with a knight. If he takes it with a knight, I'll push my rook up, and he'll basically have to try and trade the rooks off, or I'll just win a piece, basically. So bit of a risky play, but I'm just trying to simplify as much as possible here and just get that extra piece out the way, really. But he takes with the rook, which I wasn't fully expecting, but I think I can still win it, because if I push my rook up, he either has to take it, or the only safe square is if he goes up to f6. And if he does that, I think I'd win it on the next go anyway by sliding my d1 rook across. So I think he just has to take it. And there we go. So we eliminate the rook. So all I now need to do really is take the knight out the game. So what is the best way of doing this? I mean, I could still mess up. It is only +4, but I'm just, I'm up in an endgame by a rook. So hopefully we can find something good here. Let's get a king into the game. That could be the difference. So let's march him up. Nice. And now I can attack my pawn on the far side. There's no way he can get over there, surely. He goes with the knight, hitting my rook, so I need to move back. Okay, pushing pawns. Don't mind that. I'll push my pawn. Here he attacks it. Of course, I'm safe there. He pushes a pawn. Okay, so I can't move my pawn again, but I can move my knight back and attack his weak pawns. He comes down, hitting my rook. Okay, I'll take the pawn here with check. So he has to move. And I think, all things considered, this should get rid of all the pieces, basically, but leave my pawn on the edge is what I'm hoping for. So he moves. And so I'm now thinking, do I move my rook, attack his knight, and see how he wants to play this? Or I think if I move my knight and take the pawn, whichever he takes, I think it gets the piece off, basically. So, yeah, he takes there. I now go up, and I'm covered all the way. So, okay, that was a risky way of doing it, to be fair, but I think I'm covered all the way. And there we go. So he sees it coming, and to stop the queen, he just accepts his fate and allows me to take it. Okay, so that might have been a risky way of doing it, but I think it works out. So is there any way I can mess this up? I mean, I'm just worried about stalemating, really, so I just need to avoid trying to stalemate. So let's push up there, he en passant, I take back, nice. So we're stretching the king. So if I can now get under there, nice, my pawn is safe forever here. I can march my king up and take that pawn. Right, so now it really is just a matter of, can I avoid stalemate? But with my rook covering the whole way, there's nothing he can do here. And he has all the escape squares in the world, so he's just going to have to accept that I make the queen. And he abandons the game. Okay, he makes me sit here for 1:50 just so I can't checkmate him. Okay, fair enough. But look, that's another great win there. That was a very convincing win, to be honest, purely from that bishop move at the start that captured the rook. I mean, he just maintained the lead. So 2 good wins in a row. Third and final game here. So we've had 2 nice wins. Hopefully we can make it third. So we're going for the London again. He's pushed a bit of a strange pawn out there, but let's stick to my guns. Don't get distracted. Let's just play a normal game. Okay, he's brought a bishop out. Okay, so I assume he's thinking that if I move my bishop, then he'll come in with his and win the rook. I think is a plan, but as long as I don't move my bishop, there's no danger. So let's just continue the development. Although he's done the same on the other side. Okay, this is a very strange opening. I'm just going to stick to what I know, okay? So right, he's coming out with the bishops. This is, I don't know, maybe he's having a laugh, maybe he's trying something out. I don't know, but we're just going to do normal opening. And if we block with the knight now I'm free to move my bishop because the knight's covering that square. Right, now he pushes a centre pawn. What is going on here? Okay, I'll just continue. Right, that's a bit more normal. Okay, so he's gone for the centre. Let's bring my knight out. He brings a queen out. Our castle nice and early. Now he brings his other knight. Okay, he's moving to... I don't know, maybe I just play in a strange way, but I don't know, to me, he's moving in a very strange way. So I'll take the free pawn, okay? So there's been a bit of shuffling around. I think he's got a bit of a strange opening, but I'll take the free pawn. Now he pushes for the centre. And so here I'm trying to calculate, how does it work out? If, for example, I take, he takes, I take, he takes. But he has more eyes on the square than I do, so I don't think I can take it. So instead I'll push up and see if he'll take on the other side. But he retreats now. Okay. But after he retreats, I think I now would win the trade-off. So if we go for it... Oh no, I've hung it. I completely misunderstood that. Right, so if we go back, he's moved out the way. I've now thought, I can win the trade-off. Even if I went with the bishop first, it would have worked out all right. But I went with the knight first and the bishop. Oh, that's very silly. That is very silly. But okay, we're a bishop down. Can we come back? So I sit him in check. He blocks with the knight. Okay. So now we'll take a free pawn at least. So, I mean, supposedly it's even, but... Do you know what I mean? I am a piece down. It's not ideal. He castles. But there we go. He's hung a rook. He's hung a rook. Okay, happy days. And hang on. He pushes a bishop out and hangs the bishop first while the rooks are still hanging. So he's given me the bishop back and he's let me take the rook. So, oh wow, we've gone from a bishop down to now a rook up. Okay, that was a very quick turnaround. So if I come in now... Oh no, I've just hung my queen. Oh, that has to be the worst play I think I've ever seen. In my head, I thought, well, this is a good game. I could take all his pieces, but I thought I had something really clever here. I thought with my bishop covering, I can move the queen up, and that's literally going to be checkmate. Like my pawn is covering both his escape squares now that he's put the knight in. So I thought if I put the queen up, that's checkmate. And I just missed that I've hung a queen. So yeah, that's the last time I try and do any fancy checkmates because that that was so silly. But we win the knight back at least, but I've hung my queen. So he's hung a bishop and a rook. I've then hung a queen a go later. This is not a good standard, but I mean the threat is still there. Like with my pawn and my bishop covering those squares, you never know. So obviously my knight is now hanging and there's no way for it to escape. So I think let's at least die while taking a pawn. Let's take something with me. So there we go, he sacrificed the knight. So all things said and done, I'm +1. So now I'm going to push some pawns. Oh, okay, so right, he's coming with the rook. Right, he's coming with the rook, which means he's going to threaten check with the queen. There is an escape square, but I don't like the look of it. So let's just push the pawn up, stop him coming in. He comes with the knight. Okay, we'll hit that. And now he comes down hitting my rook. Okay, let's shuffle out the way. He takes a pawn. Okay, this should, I assume, push the rook back out the way. Yeah, nice. Okay, now I'm going to see if he wants to take my knight. So like it's a dead even game. I've gone from losing to absolutely all over him, and now it's dead even again. But let's see if we'll take the knight. He spends a long time thinking there. leaving 4:20 on the clock, and he decides to go for the swap. We take straight back. Now he comes with the queen, but of course I can shuffle out the way and go around my rook. He comes down, I go around again. Now the whole time I'm thinking, if I can get my A1 rook underneath my F rook, I can get a back rank checkmate, is my aim here. I'll probably miscalculate it, but that's the plan. So he moves out the way, I slide under. He gets me in check. We move. Check again. Oh, God, okay, so we take with the... Okay, nice. So we block with the rook. Thinking if he moves out the way, is it checkmate? So he moves out the way. I honestly thought that was checkmate. Turns out I miscalculated again, and I'm now going to lose the pawn. But hey-ho, we can hit there, and oh my God, I've just realised I think I've hung that rook as well. No way. In my head, I thought if I come up here, he has to... I win one of them, and I've realised I've actually just hung the rook. I've hung it, but he missed it. Oh my God. Right, this is I think I need to go to bed after this. This is awful. But at least we get the bishop there. Didn't deserve it, but we get the bishop. He gets me in check. I block with the bishop, attacking the queen. He gets me in check again, but I move. I'm still attacking the queen, so he moves out the way. Now I can push up out of the way. He hits me in check. Oh, there's checks all over the place here. I've got to be very careful. It's a dead even game, but if I lose this, it'd be such a shame. And he hangs. He hangs the queen. So if we go back there, he goes out the way and just hangs the queen for no real reason. Just hangs the queen. Okay. Right, so I am up a bishop and a rook in the endgame here. So surely we can win this. So I see if he wants to trade rooks. He doesn't. So he attacks my bishop. Let's protect it. He gets me in check. Let's move. Okay, that's fine there. So now I get him in check. Check again. Can I get him a ladder checkmate here? No, I don't think so. So let's just take the pawn. Take the pawn. And again. And there we go. There's the ladder checkmate. Right, okay. That was a... Look, we got 3 wins. We got 3 good wins there. So that's a good little climb, especially after a bit of time off. I thought I'd be a lot worse than I was. But I think, yeah, by the end, is it the tiredness? Is it the... You know, I thought I was winning and got a bit lazy. I don't know, but that wasn't a great game. But 3 wins out of 3, so happy days. Thank you for watching.